Good day to you. There is a principle of life that there is more than what we now have. So we are asked to lift up our eyes and see the harvest God has, meaning the principle of investment and dividends. He still has. You may be 40, 50, 60, 70 or even at 80. God still has a blessing for the seed bag He gave you. So we work with Him and we have more to come. Today I want to particularly address when passing 43, 45, you are entering your age of significance. Up to that time we are conscious of success, struggle for existence, we work hard to get to the summit, get to the top. By the time you are 43, your son or daughter is probably 15. Now your family needs your stewardship. So from success that you have striven so hard, you move to succession. And you have heard the saying, succession is success. You are thinking of legacy. You are thinking of what more you can do to steward the gifts of others and provide them space under your tutelage. That is called significance. Also at 43, you need to take care that you will be close to your own wife, because there was a famous King David who did so well. God promoted him from being a shepherd boy to the kingship in the nation. But passing 40s, he got into trouble with his next door neighbor's daughter, really. And it was a sad affair, sordid affair. Much trouble came into David's life. So passing 40s, you need to take care of your own intimacy with your wife. Thirdly, we give up our fights and we are entering maturity. So when we are 43, we are entering maturity and we are thinking of the space about others. This is an important thing. It's a time to lift up your eyes and see what is more. And we are living in a world increasingly. Other challenges come our way even if we don't think about it, even if we don't ask for them. So passing 43, 43 beg your pardon, we have to provide the boundaries for our own children and work with them for their step up and step forward for the next more. So when we are asked to look up and see that there is a harvest more. So this look up is that sense of God dependence. I have done what I can. Now, oh God, what is there that you can help me with? It's a time call that comes because you have come to the summit and you have to take care in the summit that you climb safely, surely and steadfastly. And remember your friends who brought you there. And at the summit, giddy heights, heady winds, take care of that. And friends of long standing will soundly advise you about the heady winds that you may feel, and you may feel quite isolated at the summit, and you may feel you have risen far above your colleagues or peers, could be. But keep them as your friends, because when a step down is there, you need friendship and camaraderie to handle that episode also. Keep strong friendship with your old friends. A proverb says, even with your father's friends. At 43, you are moving from success to significance, time to steward others and prolong your influence. That's the way it goes. So you are fruitful, you multiply, you fill and fulfill your portion, and you steward that others may have their portion. That's the mandate that the first couple in the Garden of Eden got, and the Good Shepherd and the Father in heaven still works on those principles. So we are living in a time of hasty solutions. Break up of marriages for quick divorce and remarriage. Don't go that way. 2 kids leaving parents very early and for greener pastures elsewhere. 3 migrating even to worse jobs, thinking greener pastures are elsewhere, causing economic instability. Then there are gender and sexual experiments. 5thly, increasing online education at the cost of personal relationships. More and more online stuff. Sixthly, digitizing kids because parents are pressed for time and smart screen becomes the nanny. So there's hardly any personal bonding time or family doing things together. Nations are made to get into debt and debt restructuring is planned. An appointment of heads of states who work hand in glove with global elite, planning global rule, concentrating economic power in the hands of a global oligarchy. These are all on the list. Then yesterday I was counseling a young man who was troubled by the fact that his concentration was not enough. Then how do you help them? You have to know that there are 7 brain tracts, and every brain tract needs deployment so that your brain keeps wiring up with new synapses, and your best potential comes with all 7 functional brain tracts. That's Prof. Howard Jenner's thesis, functional brain tracts working the best. So if your kid is saying they need concentration, please do consult me. It's no cost. You can call my secretary 077-151-2801. Many kids have lost concentration. Their attention span has shortened. Attention depth is very shallow because of the digitization syndrome. But there are things you can do. So we run the Empathic Learning Center for this reason. Kids from 6 to 20 come there. And so first track in the brain, if you would send me a WhatsApp to 074-211-5011, I will send you a little diagram on this. 074-211-5011 for the WhatsApp. So the first brain tract is the empathic intuitive tract. When a boy says or a girl says, I am not concentrating, I feel I am not getting much out of my studies, I am disturbed, then you have to give him something personally empathic and intuitive. Better relationship with the brother and sister, a hobby, a pet, where he concentrates personally on a thing he likes. At that stage, if he is into art, that may help him to draw things to express his heart feeling, empathic, intuitive. Secondly, empathic, relational. So you get him to be exercised by good friends and doing things for others. He can even take a tuition class for his own sibling, so that you increase his empathic relational engagement so that his concentration can improve. Thirdly, third track in which concentration helps and where concentration can be increased is the language track. So you have to get them to read. You also have to get them to take notes even when they are doing online. So if you bring them to me for a consultation, I explain the science. Though they may be raucous, boisterous, looking, sort of doing their own thing, but when you explain the science in a tone of empathy, they listen. That's my experience in the Empathic Learning Center. So the third track is the language track. So writing always improves brain connection. So somehow, while they are doing online studies, you have to get them to write notes, at least 50% of their lessons to be written down as notes. Other 50% maybe they will still keep it on their computer or whatever, because that writing down is therapeutic for memory and concentration, for recall and application. Fourthly, the fourth tract is managerial mathematical tract. And for that track to improve, they must do concentrated things like a board game of carom, table tennis, where you take focus. This is important. When digitized kids can't do management, they are messy, the table is messy, they don't know when to begin, they don't know, their sense of time is gone, because we operate 1 hour at a time in the default mode network. We initiate and keep doing till we finish, and then dopamine stops and reward motive begins. We check back and serotonin works. That's how 45 minutes plus 15, we do our 1 hour. So every 1 hour kept well is the momentum for the next hour. So we have to get them the time management every hour. When you discuss this with a kid, I just did it yesterday with a 16-year-old, and they feel help. They feel there's a solution. They feel this is scientific, not parents shouting at them saying, stop the screen, stop the screen. Of course, they have to stop the screen, but you have to give them avenues, pathways, how to apply it. Then the fifth one, tract is kinesthetic. So you have to get them kinesthesia that improves brain wiring. When they are on the pixel screen, the pixels create a neuronal kinesthesia, which is jittery, impulsive, hyperactive. Attention is inattentive. But you have to give them sports and artwork and other things to get them into kinesthesia, which is improving the brain performance. There's a kinesthesia that reduces the brain performance. Then we come to the sixth track, acoustic. The music that goes on in their ear through earphones works against concentration. So somehow you have to tell them study time is not music time. Then the music rhythm matters. Great old songs like Amazing Grace, How Sweet the Sound, improves memory and recall. And the present rhythm of 1-2-1-2-1-2 is not about recall, but being active at that time. The music is also causing a kinesthesia. That's why their concentration goes down. Then the important thing to do is recover the sleep rhythm. I have to tell you this as a medical doctor, they must sleep at 11 o'clock and get up possibly at 5:30 or 5:41. When you sleep at 11 o'clock, then your melatonin has time to work on your brain, and after 6:30 you have to reduce the online fast digital activity, and when you wake up at 5:30 in the morning, early morning sunlight through the retina begins to kickstart the bioclocks of the day in a right manner. So the sleep is so important. Then final tract is the visual tract. So you're on the pixel screen, your visual absorption is very hectic. For instance, the sunlight has a PPI, the photon scatter is 224. Anything beyond that, your retina is handling with difficulty. Of course, of necessity, we may look at laptop screens or study and so on, but more and more dwelling on it with fast pixel activity, you ruin your melatonin secretion and the brain tract formation. Then you ruin the brain needs time to commit RAM to permanent memory. Otherwise, all what you studied does not remain with you. So I have covered three main topics. At passing 43, all this health advice is important. Then I added a little bit of concentration and the brain tracts for your own benefit, as well as relating to a 15-year-old son or daughter. Thirdly, I added the world scenario that is gearing up for nations to be in an uproar, families run down and break up. So it's an engineered thing that you have to guard against, and 43 to 45 is a real battleground. May the Good Shepherd be in your life and he give you guidance. He has a promise, I will furnish your table, even in the midst of adversities, global, local, personal. God bless you. I am Dr. Lalith Mendis. As I said, if you want any more clips on reason and science or on this subject, please send a WhatsApp to 074 211 5011. If you want a consultation free of cost for yourself or kids, please contact 077 151 2801. Thank you.